Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is the 188th Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. As a lot of regular viewers will know, very often I put battles on from weeks, months, or even years ago normally. Well, I thought I'd do something a bit different today, and that is to put a battle on that we only fought last night, Friday. It's a battle we fought in the early hours of this morning, and the ink's not even dry on the battle. The team I'm in today consists of a Brotherhood member, JGP. He's one of our new recruits, and he has bought the Rome SBQR faction. And then we have another member of the Brotherhood, Terrible Turk. He's another one of our recruits, and he has bought the Rome Julio faction. And then we have myself, Spartan Commander, who has unusually bought a Macedon army here. As many of you that watch our video, regular watchers of our videos, will know, I don't bring Macedon very often. And our final teammate is Brotherhood member Uther, who has bought the Rome Julio faction. So there's our team there. I say Uther's been playing RTW since it first came out. This should be a great one for you to watch. At this early stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at Uther's Roman army here. Can you see how he's bought a Roman armoured general unit, cavalry unit here? And if you look at, when we pull back a little bit, and you can have a look at the upgrades, can you count the upgrades there, the banners? That is a fully upgraded general cavalry unit there. Very fast moving. Now this is old school. Up to about 7 or 8 years ago, we all used to bring a cavalry Rome general as our general. Till we switched to an infantry general. So using the cavalry general is very old school there by Uther. And also another unusual unit that he's got is the auxiliary unit here. Now these guys are only light infantry, but they've got a bonus against cavalry, and some people use them as an additional pilot shield unit. So I thought that's an unusual unit for him to bring. And there's a general look of his army there. But it'd be interesting to see how that cavalry general does in this battle. As I say, it's very old school, and it'd be useful to see if it still works. At this stage of the battle, I thought we'd have a look at my Macedon army. Now this army is probably 7, 8 years old, and I remember that we were actually beaten by a team with Greek cities in. And when I came out of that game, I went into custom, and I thought I'm going to make an army that really counters Greek cities. So I decided to go into the Macedon faction, and this is the army that I come up with. I actually had about three armies I made, but over the months I tried them and found that this was the best one for me. This army was bred purely to take on the Greek cities. Notice there's no cavalry, there's 16 pikes and 4 Cretan archers. So it'll be interesting to see how this very old army does on the modern day battlefield. And here is the other team. We have IOW Bubo, who has bought the Seleucid faction. You see he's called himself a different name there, but it is actually IOW Bubo. As I say, he's bought the Seleucid faction. Bubo likes the pike factions, and he's become very good with them. So whenever you see him across the battlefield with a pike faction, you know you're in for a challenge. And there's his pikemen there with their long pikes. As I say, Roman generals don't like taking them head on because there's a lot of pike to fight down to kill the man on the other end. And then we have the infamous cataphract cavalry. We call these the tanks of the ancient world, and that is because of the amount of armour that they've got. Can you see they're armoured almost from head to foot? And these cavalry can be battle-changing troops if used correctly, and are very formidable. And then you can see that he's actually bought the chariots, the scythed Seleucid chariots here. Now these are very effective. Not only do they kill the enemy, but they've got a fear factor that lowers the morale of enemy troops. But if they run amok, if they go out of control, they can become lethal to both friend and foe alike. So it's always a bit of a gamble when you take a chariot unit, because you never know exactly what's going to happen. But there you go. There's Bubo's Seleucid army, and it looks pretty tough and effective to me. And then we have a bit of a mysterious figure here. He's called himself XYP9X, and he just told us that he's a Heaven's Clan member. But he wouldn't say anything else more than that he's in the Heavens clan. And as you can see, he's bought the Greek cities faction here. I think he should have named himself Mysterious, really, because it does seem rather mysterious that he'd only tell us that he was in the Heavens clan. As I said, he's bought the formidable Greek cities faction there. Lots of Spartan units I see, and I see he's got looks like 4 Cretan archer units as well. Don't forget those Cretan archers got long distance and do a lot of damage, so that Greek cities army looks quite effective to me. And then we have got someone who's called himself Titans McGregor, but is in fact Titans Odin, and he has bought the Rome Scipio faction there. So that is in fact Titans Odin there. Looks like a pretty formidable Scipio army there, looking at that a little bit closer. And then their last teammate is RTW player Indy. Now a lot of you will know Indy. He's a very good 31k player. If you look at his army here, it's a pretty good army. If you notice, he's got 2 archers there. My guess is ready to move forward straight away, backed up with his archers. So what he's probably looking to do, and look at the upgrades on those archers, 7 upgrades. So he looks like he's got a stripe, gold shield, gold attack on those archers, so they're going to be very effective. This looks like a great team. At this very early stage of the battle here, I just thought I'd show you a general overview as we're kind of squaring up to each other here. As you can see, we're going up to have a look at Uther's fast-moving cavalry general here. Now, as you know, that cavalry general is very fast-moving. It's got its maximum upgrades, so it's difficult to kill. I'm just wondering what he's thinking about doing with that cavalry unit. I'm looking across to the enemy team there, and I'm looking at those Cretan archers there. I'm just wondering whether he's thinking about possibly running over there quick and trying to take out some of those Cretan archers. Meanwhile, I'm moving my Macedon army across there. Now what I'm doing, you'll notice that I'm keeping my army at the back, at the rear of my teammates there, because my big units are very susceptible to archer fire. So what I've got to try and do is keep the balance right by keeping them out of range of archers, but keeping them close enough to my teammates to be able to help where I'm needed there. So that's what I'm looking at doing there. As we continue there, as you see, there's Uther's cavalry. I just thought you might have just been thinking about going across and taking those Cretan archers out there, but obviously he's at this stage he decided not to do that. As you can see here, our Julii teammate there with his archers are thinking about moving forward to take any Cretan archers on, but he decided to move back. So I say there's a general overview of the battle at this stage. So I think when it gets going, it should be an interesting one for you to watch. Once again, it's very early stage of the battle. Can you see here that Uther's taking his fast-moving cavalry general over to probably with a view to trying to take out some of those Cretan archers that are at the front of their Spartan colleagues there. But if you notice there how he's going to charge in and whack into that Scipii archer unit there. Nice little hit, aggressive hit there by Uther. Really good to see the old school cavalry general tactics here. We always used to use our cavalry general like this. They kind of could be a nuisance, hit soft targets, try and disrupt the enemy line there. Can you see that's what he's doing? See how that Scipii infantry is there moving out? Uther's trying to disrupt their battle line there with his fast moving cavalry general. You see he's moving down the whole enemy army battle line there, looking to hit archers at any time that any chance that he can. That's what he's going to do. As I say, new players watching this, it's nice to see a bit of old school cavalry general tactics for you to see there. As I say, those fast moving cavalry general units can be a real nuisance and upset the enemy a bit there. So nice little aggressive move there by Uther. Right, meanwhile, on our left flank here, can you see the IOW Bubos moved his Seleucid army onto the left flank, coming in on the left flank of Uther's Julii army there. Now that was a nice, aggressive, tactical move there by Bubo, using his Seleucid pikemen there. As I said, Bubo plays a lot with pike units. I think they're his favourite factions, the pike factions, and he's become very good with them. As you see, there's a nice tactical aggressive move there. If you notice, the enemy Greek cities army is moving in to also attack Uther's army here on our left flank. Let's say very aggressive action there by the enemy team. If you notice here, Bubo's moved one of his pike units round to the left flank there, moving in on Uther's flank, even though Uther's turned his army to face him. Right, let's just pause again for us to take stock of exactly what's happening here. As you can see, as I said, Bubo's Seleucid army here, you see, is attacking Uther very aggressively on our left flank here, with the Greek cities ally, with his Greek cities allies moving in as well. So Uther's being kind of double teamed there. If you notice, I'm running my Macedon pike army over there to help Uther there on our left flank. So that's the general situation there, and also you can see the tank cavalry, the cataphract tank Seleucid cavalry moving over as well, over to our left flank. So there's a lot kicking off on this left flank at the moment. Let's see what happens next. You can see, as I said, I'm moving my Macedon pike army over here. Obviously with a view to try and assist Uther as much as I can here. Okay, notice I've run over, positioned my army, and then straight away, bang, put my pikes down. So I upped my pikes to be able to let my units run. New players watching this, you have to put your pikes up for your pike units to run. And then when you get into combat situation, you then put your pikes down. You can fight them without their pikes down, but they're not very strong like that. So you need to, when you get into a combat situation, make sure that you put your pikes down. As you can see here now, I'm moving towards the Seleucid there, actually flanking the Seleucid force that was trying to flank us, if you see what I mean there, with this old Macedon army of mine. So as I say, I'm pressing forward into the Seleucid ranks there. I've managed to rout a couple of the units there. Right, let's take stock of what's actually happening. Let's say here on the left flank, I've now moved my Macedon army over to engage the Seleucid army there and the Greek cities army if necessary, as Uther's being double teamed there. Meanwhile, over here on our centre right, you can see that the enemy Scipii army is now attacking our Julii ally. And over on our far right flank here, you can see that there's a couple of Greek city units. Can you see he hasn't got his pikes down? He's got the swords drawn there, so he's actually fighting out of pike formation there with those couple of Greek city units. And as you can see here, the enemy Brutii army here looks to me like they're ready to attack, especially with these 6 cavalry units in a threatening position out there on the right flank there, threatening our SBQR ally. So there's a general overview of the battle situation at this time. Should be interesting to see what happens next. Well, as I said in other battle videos, I always find that these pike factions, as they move forward, like I said before, they remind me of steamrollers, really slow moving, but kind of go over everything that's in front of them. And if you notice there, that's what I'm trying to do with my pike army there. If you notice, the Greek city general is now attacking Uther at the front. Remember, fighting Greek cities head on is never what a Roman general wants to do. Unless there's a plan of maybe holding them while you get troops in behind or something like that. Right, if you notice here, can you see that Bubo's moving one of his pike units into the flank of my attacking Macedon front line there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn my left pike unit there out to face that threat there, so he's taking him head on rather than let him attack me from the flank there. So there's a lot of long pikes there. Both the Seleucid pikemen and my Macedon pikemen there have got extremely long pikes there, so it'll be an interesting little tussle here on the left to see exactly what happens. If you notice here, can you see that the enemy Greek cities army has fallen back? If you notice, I was moving part of my Macedon army towards that Greek cities army there, but they decided to pull back there. Probably looking for another place to hit on the battlefield there with that Greek city army. So moving my Macedon army over here to help, Uther has managed to kind of neutralise the Seleucid attack on our left flank here. But as you can see, the enemy Greek city's army there is still completely intact, and the enemy tank cataphract cavalry have not been engaged yet either. Okay, can you see the Greek city's army moving across to the flank, looking like it's trying to flank our allies' Julii army there. Meanwhile, over on our right flank here, there's a little bit of skirmishing going on, but I can't see any full-scale fighting yet over on our right flank. As I say, the enemy Brutii cavalry are still sat out there in a very threatening position, ready to hit probably when the armies are engaged. As you can see, our ally Terrible Turk here with his Julii army facing Scipii and Greek cities there. Okay, so I've seen that danger where Terrible Turk's being double teamed, so I'm now moving my Macedon army over from the left flank over to that centre area there where I can help my teammate out. As I say, with those Greek city pikemen involved there, we don't really want to get our Roman troops involved too much if we can help it. So if I can just get my Macedon pikemen over there to help, that would be probably the right thing to do there. As you can see, the Seleucid cataphract tank cavalry are moving over to the centre as well, and he's got some pike units that look to me like they've rallied after being routed, and they're coming back into the fray as well. And if you notice, they're targeting some of Uther's Julii forces there. Uther's moving some reinforcements forward there, if you notice, with his Julii infantry, probably with a view to try and take on those cataphract tank cavalry there. Right, meanwhile, over here in the centre right, if you notice, I've just got over there with my Macedon pike army there. Back over here on the left, can you see that Uther's brought his cavalry over there, ready to charge in when ready. Right, let's just pause the game for a second. As I said, here on the left, there's still some Seleucid forces fighting Uther's army there. As I say, those heavy cataphract tank cavalry are involved as well. But Uther looks like he's just about to charge his cavalry into the Seleucid forces there on our left. As we move into the right centre now, you can see that I've brought my pike army over there to support Terrible Turk, who's being double teamed by the enemy Greek cities army and the enemy Scipii, Roman Scipii army there. So as I say, I've brought my my Macedon army there to support him in that area there. Try and even it up a little bit, make it a 2v2 in the centre. And meanwhile, over on our right flank here, you can see that the action's just kicked off. The enemy Brutii army attacking, and if you notice that we've got some Julii allies cavalry over there helping JGP there on our right flank. So as you can see at the moment, there's a general overview of what's happening. Lots of aggressive action all over the battlefield at the moment. As you can see there, that Brutii cavalry that have been sat out there so long have charged in now. As I say, just charged in there as all the infantry has become engaged. So I'd be interested to see what happens on that right flank. It could be pivotal on that right flank to what actually happens in the battle. As you can see there, I'm moving forward with my Macedon army into the fray. But meanwhile, over on our left flank here, if you notice that Uther has done extremely well in kind of clearing out the Seleucid infantry, and the Seleucid cavalry now are being forced to move over, probably looking to hit another target there. But on our left, we seem to have done quite well. Let's see here, can you see I'm moving forward with my Macedon army, trying to be aggressive onto the enemy Scipii infantry and the Greek cities army there. Right, can you see Uther trying to bring some infantry in behind the engaged enemy troops, but the Greek city general spotted that and brought a couple of units over to block him there. Meanwhile, over on our right flank here, remember our ally is the purple SBQR army there, and if you just noticed, just going to pause the game for a second there. Right, most of our allies' SBQR army now has kind of been routed here on our right flank. So just after a magnificent battle there on the right flank, it looks like things are kind of turning for us. Now, as I say, this right flank could be pivotal to the battle. If they manage to beat us on the right, they could then try rolling us up from the right to left. I see the cataphract cavalry are involved. I notice a chariot unit. That chariot unit we were looking at earlier is coming behind our SBQR ally there. And meanwhile, in the centre here, you can see that we're still battling there. both Terrible Turk with his Julii army and my Macedon army against the Greek cities and Scipii. And if you notice that Uther's here with a lot of battle damaged units trying to get in behind the engaged enemy troops there. If he can get his cavalry in behind those engaged enemy troops, that would be good. So there's a general overview of the battle there, just to see, just to show you exactly what's happening at this time. I say over on the right flank here, this could be pivotal to the battle. Right, can you see that chariot unit just moving in there and bang into the back of those our allies' SBQR cavalry there. It wasn't so much the damage that chariot unit did, I think it was the fear factor. Lowered the morale of those battle damaged cavalry and forced them to rout. Okay, so you can see now on our right, let's just pause the game for a second. So on our right flank now, our right flank has finally caved in after a really good battle. So as I say, this could be pivotal to the battle at this time. The enemy have broken our right flank. So what they'll do now, they'll move from right to left to try and roll us up. So what we've got to do is be aware of that. If you notice that Uther's taken some of his Julii cavalry over to that side to try and stop them a little bit from coming over. But if you notice, they've actually started to move over to the right now, and as I say, they would like to roll us up from right to left. Now they've won on that right flank. It's always bad to see Seleucid heavy tank cavalry in behind your engaged troops. If you notice that cataphract, let's just pause the game for a second here. Okay then, so you can see the enemy Brutii and Scipii army coming in there from the right into attacking Uther's Julii army there. As I say, there's a lot of enemy coming in there from the right. They've got archers shooting at us as well at the same time. So there's a general view. As I say, I don't like that cataphract cavalry and that chariot unit in behind us. If they charge in, they could cause a lot of damage and probably a lot of our units to rout. So at this stage of the battle, things are not looking very good for our team. There's a close-up of the Greek cities and my Macedon pikemen fighting there. As I say, my Macedon pikemen got the long pikes, but those Spartans have got the 2 hit points and extremely good specifications. So it's really to and fro there. As I say, there's a general view of the battle as it stands at the moment. They say that Seleucid cavalry in behind us is always a worry, especially for a pike general, because the morale of pike units are not that good. The big pike units are not that good, so if they got hit from behind, they could cause some problems there. If you notice, I've turned my general unit out, facing out there, to try and put off any potential cavalry hit into the back of my pikemen. Okay, the Seleucid cavalry are over there on the left. If you notice, I'm moving my pikemen extremely aggressively forward now. You see, because I can see that there's real problems. So I've upped my pikes now, and I'm running forward into the Seleucid general's just been killed, so their morale went out. If you notice, I'm running my pikes forward into the back of those engaged Spartan units, and especially the Greek city general unit there. Okay, so if you notice, I've run over, I've downed my pikes, and I've now got into the combat mode, and I'm attacking the Greek cities there. What I would like to do is kill that Greek cities general. As you know, that will then lower the morale of his troops. If you notice, Uther's got an eagle unit by the side of his fighting infantry there, giving them morale. But there's a lot going on all over the battlefield at the moment. Right, let's just pause the game to take stock of exactly what's happening here. Over on our left flank here, can you see the last of our Julii ally there? Uther threw some units over there to try and stop the enemy coming over, and he's just been routed. So that enemy moving over there is from the right. Remember what we said, from right to left. I see Terrible Turk's got some very battle damaged Julii units there, and that Seleucid tank cavalry are over there running around the battlefield. If you notice there, they've put Uther's put some Julii infantry to try and protect the rear of my pike units there from the cavalry. So there's a, as I say, there's a general overview of the battle at the moment, just so you can see exactly what's happening kind of all over the battlefield at the moment. Okay, we've just killed the Greek city's general, which is what I wanted to do there, so I've lowered the morale of the troops. Even though they've got 2 hit points and very good specifications, their morale will drop now their general's been killed. Okay, if you notice, I've upped my pikes again to run forward to engage the enemy infantry. Okay, once again, as soon as I get in contact with the enemy infantry, my forward units, I put the pikes straight down. As I said before, the Macedon pike units, the big units, can fight without their pikes down, but they're quite weak. So once you get into combat, always try and put your pikes down, because that gives them their strength there. Right, if you notice, the Seleucid general now has been routed, and the Seleucid morale is not very good anyway, so their morale will be even lower now. Right, if you notice here, can you see the Brutii cavalry charging into the side of our allies' terrible Turk there? If you notice, I've spotted that. I've upped my pikes again, once again running forward to try and support him there. If you notice, I'm running forward again, and then you see I put my forward units pikes down as soon as I come in engage with the enemy there. Right, you see that the Brutii general's running his army back from my attack. I just want to show you something here. Can you see that the enemy's running there? But can you see the one unit is broken, distraught over the number of enemies? Okay, so as my army approached, it was a battle damaged unit. It's got 45 men in, but because of the amount of troops that I were bringing over there, it lowered its morale so much that it's routed, even with 45 troops in. So can you see numbers do make a difference on RTW? Right, let's have a look. Can you see that the enemy Scipii infantry and Seleucid cavalry are in behind me there? Probably like to charge into the rear of me if I was engaged with the enemy Brutii army there. Okay, let's see what happens next. As I say, you can see the Brutii infantry there retreating, and our allies cavalry charging into them there. But if you notice that behind me, the enemy blue Scipii Rome army is coming in behind. So once again, I've upped my spears, and I'm going to run forward to engage those Scipii cavalry, and especially if I can kill that Scipii general there. Right, once again, can you see how I run forward? I put my forward units pikes down as soon as I become engaged with the enemy, and then as the other units become engaged, I put those pikes down as well. So they run very fast over there, but when they come into contact, put the pikes down. Right, if you notice there, the Seleucid cavalry has just killed off. Let's just pause the game for a second here. You can see that the Seleucid cavalry charge there has just routed most of my Julii allies that were there behind my my army there. Very aggressive attacking move there by the enemy team to take them out. And of course, what I'm worried about now is those Cataphract cavalry going to charge into the back of my engaged pikemen there. So that's something I'm going to have to watch out for. If you notice though, I'm still going for that Scipii general there. I'm kind of focused my pikemen on trying to kill that Scipii general. As I say, if you watch other battle videos, you'll know that I'm trying to kill the general to lower the morale of his troops. Right, can you see that Seleucid cavalry now? I'm just wondering if they're going to try and charge into the rear. There we go. I think we just killed the enemy Scipii general there. I'm just wondering whether that Seleucid cavalry might charge into back, because Macedon morale is not very good. A big cavalry charge could cause some routs here. So I'm just wondering whether that Seleucid cavalry general there, Bubo, is thinking that he might charge in there to try and cause a mass rout of my units. Right, okay, can you see the Seleucid cavalry charging in? Bang, as that comes in. But I've turned units to face them, so he's actually facing pikes as he's charging in there. So that Seleucid cavalry there has just been, well, kind of almost suicided there as it charged into waiting pikes there as I actually moved my pike units forward to it. So, but I could see what his tactic was there, because Macedon morale is not very good. If he could have started a few more units to rout, it could have started a mass rout maybe. So that's probably why he did that with his cavalry there. But as you can see now, there's a lot of enemy cavalry left and some infantry units, but it looks like there, if I can just watch that cavalry, because I think, as I said, if that cavalry can hit at the right place at the right time, because most of my units are very battle damaged now and the morale will be low, it could kind of cause a lot of my units to rout. So I have to watch that cavalry very carefully here. Right, just pause the game here to take stock of exactly what's happening here. As you can see here, the my Julii allies got a few units left, and I think there's an ally SBQR unit left there. But as you can see, there's some of the enemy archers still shooting into my pikemen, and a lot of the enemy cavalry are still about as well. So it'll be interesting to see how what tactics they use here with that Brutii cavalry.
Great God be praised! The enemy general is killed!
Looking at the general battle situation at the moment now, looking at what we've got left and what they've got left, I would think that our team seems to have gone on to win this. I noticed that Uther's cavalry general, remember that maxed cavalry general, is still going around. I think he's got about 5 men left in that unit, so it'll be interesting to see how well that unit does for the latter stage of the battle with only 5 men in. You can see that enemy Brutii cavalry is still a force to be reckoned with there. But I think 3 of the enemy team have now admitted defeat. So it wouldn't surprise me if the Brutii general did the same there now. And there you go, the last enemy general has just admitted defeat there. If you look at the battlefield, there was massive action from one side to the other. One of the biggest battlefields I think we've seen there. Right, the first thing I'd like to say is really well played to everybody in the game. It was nice to see some really great aggressive attacking moves there by the enemy team. I thought they played extremely well. So really well done to them. Got some good kills too. Greek city generals got some really good kills there with his Spartans and those Cretan archers there, so really well done to him. As you can see, if you look at the top there, you can see it's an extremely close victory. It was really close battle, that was. So I'd like to say really well played to Uther, Terrible Turk and JGP. I thought they played extremely well there on the battlefield. Really well done to them. And as I said, really well done to the other team as well. If you look at Uther's kills, some really good kills there for Uther. Really well done to him. Just have a look at the battle statistics of my Macedon army there. You see my archers didn't do too bad there, not too bad, and the pike units didn't do too bad either there with the amount of kills they got. So I'm quite pleased with that old Macedon army. As I say, that this army is probably 7 or 8 years old, and I just brought it to the modern battlefield to see how well it did, and it still seems to do okay at the moment. So it's a Spartan Commander saying, if you've enjoyed this battle and other Brotherhood battles, then please subscribe to our channel. It's always great to have new subscribers, and it's always great battles we put on for you. Okay, so Spartan Commander saying bye for now, and look forward to seeing you soon.
Attacking us! Units, move out! Units, move out! They're attacking us! They're being attacked! We're being attacked! We're being attacked! We're under attack! be praised! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches!
They're attacking us!
Great gods be praised! The enemy general is killed! Fear makes a home in our enemies' hearts! The enemy general is dead! His men know their doom approaches! The enemy general flees! Press forward so that the spirit of his army is broken too! Great God be praised! The enemy general is killed! Fear makes a home in our enemies' hearts! Victory! By the degree of fate, perhaps, but victory all the same!